I have seen a lot of characters in Wifies ARG, but this one is beyond explanation. I have watched his latest video more times than I would like to admit, and I found something. Something that completely changes how you see Hummer's every single interaction in that video from the very first second to the very last. To properly understand this, we need to go through the 3 chapters of this video: Hummer's world, Arinax's world, and the last world where Hummer dies, because the evidence is not in the big obvious moments, it is in all the tiny things that Wifies never once stops to talk about. So the video starts with Wifies going through hundreds of Reddit posts about the Leviathan, this giant mysterious creature that supposedly appears in Minecraft oceans at exactly 20,000 coordinates where an unnaturally deep ocean generates. And look, most of these posts are either completely fake, clearly edited, or just regular players who scared themselves by seeing a guardian's tail through some kelp. The bug report from Mojang confirming the deep ocean is just a glitch in the terrain generation code. All of it points toward one conclusion: this is a hoax. But Wifies does not do that. Instead, he keeps going. And out of every post he has collected, out of hundreds of reports, he picks one specific Reddit post to follow up on, Hummer5718, and here is where I got bothered for the first time. Because Wifies explains in the video exactly why Hummer's screenshot is fake. Biomes in Minecraft have temperature values, warm biomes only generate next to other warm biomes, cold biomes only generate next to cold biomes, the temperature gradient has to be smooth, and in Hummer's screenshot there is a cold ocean biome sitting right next to a coral reef. The screenshot is faked, and Wifies knows this before he even reaches out. So why does he still message Hummer? Because something about it pulled him in, and I think that something was intentional. Wifies joins Hummer's world, and the very first thing that happens is he opens the tab menu. And he is alone. 0 other players. Just him. He is in a world by himself with nobody else there. And then Hummer just appears. Out of nowhere. No join notification, no name appearing in tab. He just exists suddenly where he did not exist a second ago. And from that point on, Hummer never once types a single word. Not one message in chat. In every other Wifies ARG, in every other investigation video he has made, communication happens through text. Through chat messages, through coded books, through signs on walls. That is how these things work. But Hummer specifically requested that Wifies install a voice chat mod before joining. Voice only. Now Hummer shows Wifies around the 20,000 coordinates where he has built a base near his boat. And before Wifies goes down to look for the Leviathan, Hummer explains how to look for it. And there are a lot of things he says, but I want you to focus on one specific thing: the entity counter. He explains that the number sitting in the top left should say 0 out of 2 at all times. 2 entities, Wifies and Hummer. If it ever goes up to 3, something else is there. Then Wifies says he wants to do this in creative mode. Flying around, immortal, easier to explore, and Hummer shuts it down immediately. I really want you to focus on the next line quoted by Hummer, because this is very important. Does the Leviathan want to be found by someone just flying around with nothing at stake? The Leviathan will not show itself to someone who does not believe. You have to have faith. So Wifies goes down into the ocean using Hummer's flying machine, and he finds nothing physical, no creature, no entity he can see, but the entity counter keeps going to 3, and here's the detail that I had to rewatch multiple times before it clicked. It only goes to 3 when Wifies is near the boat. We will come to this later. And then something happens that I think most people just took at face value. Hummer pulls the flying machine up early, while Wifies is still at the bottom of the ocean. He does not give Wifies enough time to get back up, and Wifies drowns, and Hummer's explanation is that the Leviathan would have saved him if he had truly believed. That by using the water-breathing potion, Wifies showed a lack of faith, and the Leviathan does not reward that. This is the third time the believe and faith language comes up. Now let's talk about Arinax's server, because this is where everything started falling into place for me. Arinax has built the most comprehensive Leviathan research server anyone has ever put together. Over 700 documented reports, a full museum, exhibits explaining common misidentifications, audio narration through note blocks. It is genuinely incredible. And her conclusion after all of that research is that the Leviathan is not real. It is two bugs working together. The unnaturally deep ocean at 20,000 due to a terrain generation overflow, combined with the Guardian despawn bug where Guardians can sometimes vanish completely when they swim out of your line of sight. That combination creates a shadow, a glimpse, something that disappears before you can identify it, and people have been calling that the Leviathan for years. Now here is where Arinax's explanation becomes evidence for something that I realized. The Guardian despawn bug. Entities that vanish completely when they leave your line of sight as if they were never there. Does that not describe Hummer perfectly? Think about how many times in this video Hummer just disappears in the ocean.
Good, come here. Just kind of where the base was. Yeah.
In front of parameterization.
Hi. Dude, what are you doing? Why are you in my chest?
Speaking of parameterization, this is the moment that I think is the single biggest piece of evidence in the entire video, and almost nobody is talking about it. So they get banned from Arinax's server after drowning, which we will come back to, and Hummer takes Wifies to another server that has a disproportionately high number of Leviathan reports compared to its player count. And while they are there trying to borrow some redstone supplies from a player's chest, they run into this person called parameterization. And at some point in the conversation, Wifies uses the word we, refers to himself and Hummer as we, and parameterization responds with something like, "What do you mean we?"
And we'll bring everything right back to you.
What are you talking about? What do you mean we'll bring it back?
When Para was addressing them, he always used the term you. Also notice whenever Para used sword as a threat, he always attached Wifies, but never Hummer. Hummer was basically not there for him.
Hey, just take it. Just.
Whoa, hey! Yo.
Dude, what are you doing? Why are you in my chest? Who are you?
Only Wifies could see Hummer. Only Wifies could hear him. And then look at the tree growing bet. This whole competition to see whose sapling grows first, where 6 people interacting with each other, talking, competing, and not a single one of them acknowledges Hummer. Not even once. Nobody hands him bone meal, nobody yells at him when the trees are getting broken, nobody bumps into him or laughs at something he says. He is invisible to every person there except Wifies. And this is where the believe and faith thing stops being weird dialogue and starts being literal. Hummer told Wifies at the very start that the Leviathan only appears to those who believe. That you cannot find it in creative because the Leviathan does not want to be found by someone who does not have skin in the game. But what if Hummer was describing himself? What if the reason nobody else could see him was not a glitch or a coincidence, but the actual mechanism of what the Leviathan is? An entity that only exists within the perception of the person who genuinely believes. These all takes us to one conclusion. Hummer is the Leviathan. Out of hundreds of posts and hundreds of theories, Wifies believed in Hummer. This is why the Leviathan chose to disclose himself, Wifies. At the very first, Hummer even said I was looking for someone like you. This is because even after knowing the screenshot of Hummer was fake on the Reddit post, Wifies still believed in Hummer. And the Leviathan only shows his form to people who believed in him. Arinax had concluded the Leviathan was just a bug, so she could not find it either. And Hummer even said that directly. That is the difference between us and her. She used potions, she did not put her faith in Levi. And then, the ending. The final drowning on the submarine they built from borrowed redstone. Hummer blows up the submarine and they sink together, and this time Hummer dies. and Wifies lives. And on the surface, that seems like a tragedy. The person who spent 6 months searching for the Leviathan finally drowns trying to believe hard enough, and the newcomer who had been skeptical the whole time gets to see it. It makes complete sense when you understand what Hummer actually is. Wifies did not believe in the Leviathan. He said that multiple times. He said he thought it was probably just a bug. He said Arinax was probably right. He said this is just a game. But here is what he did believe in. He believed in Hummer. From the moment he chose that fake screenshot out of hundreds of reports. From the moment he showed up at those coordinates. From the moment he got on the submarine, even though he knew it was probably going to get them killed, he believed in Hummer. He trusted Hummer. He stayed with Hummer through every terrible idea and every drowning and every server ban. And believing in Hummer was the same as believing in the Leviathan. The Leviathan knew he was coming, because Hummer spent the entire video guiding him there. At the very end, Wifies finds that chest, and there are things inside it that suggest whoever or whatever left it there knew exactly who Wifies was and had been expecting him specifically. This was not a random encounter. This was not a player stumbling into something by accident. The whole thing was orchestrated. From the fake Reddit post designed to attract exactly the right kind of person, to the voice chat requirement that left no text trail, to the belief and faith language that sounds like eccentricity until you realize it is instruction. Hummer was not researching the Leviathan, Hummer was recruiting for it. And Wifies passed the test. I do not know what comes next, I do not know what that place is, or what the Leviathan actually wants, but I do have a theory about how this connects to something much bigger. Because at the very end of the video there is a 4x4 symbol. And if you have been following my other videos, you already know the DMS has 4 active experiments running. And this might just be the 4th one. But that is a whole other video. For now, just sit with this. Hummer5718 is the Leviathan. And Wifies believed in him without even knowing that was what he was doing, and now he is somewhere none of us can follow. At least, not yet. If you have spotted something I missed, drop it in the comments because this community has cracked things I never could alone. And subscribe because wherever this is going, I genuinely cannot wait to find out. And I need you there when it happens.